It's Code Red inside ECWA. Hey, tell your mom I said hi. You know what time it is? Time for another episode of ECWA Code Red, your all-access look inside the East Coast Wrestling Association. And for the next... Well, I don't even have a watch on, so I don't know why I'm telling you half an hour by looking at a non-existent watch. We're going to talk about all things ECWA, but really we're going to talk about Breaker Morant, one of the 4 men who will compete for the ECWA Heavyweight Championship on Saturday, June 7th. Now, Breaker Morant's at an interesting time. Let's start back in December of 2012, the moment that the new Blackhearts formed, the night that changed ECWA, what we thought would be for a long time. In reality, as these things happen, egos got in the way and things fell apart. But on that night, it felt for all the world like the air had come out of the balloon. We're going to revisit that evening and Breaker Morant's role in bringing it to fruition. But he got his just desserts, so to speak, when you fast forward to September, only 9 short months later, when he was on the wrong end of a Joel Blackheart perpetrated beating, which marked the end of his tenure in the Blackhearts and, frankly, the Blackhearts as a unit. But, like a true former heavyweight champion in TWA, Breaker Morant regrouped, picked himself up. He had some tag matches with Apollyon, and ultimately, through some wins and some trials and tribulations, found himself in a position to earn a spot in the 4-man match on June 7th against, well, a guy who knows a thing or two about opportunities and having them not come to fruition in Matt Saigon. So we're going to take you through that in this episode, from the Blackheart era to the end of it and its implosion, to the way that Breaker Morant found himself in this match. And again, at the end of this week's episode, I will tell you what I think about what will happen with Breaker Morant on June 7th. But let's begin by going back to December 1st, 2012, a day that had Toys for Tots on scene, people making donations, a holiday spirit in full effect. Well, by the end of the night that night, Joel Blackheart and Breaker Morant quashed that in the ECWA crowd. Breaker Morant! What? Breaker Morant running in! He breaks the hold. That's going to end the contest, I'd imagine. Finnegan has yet to go for the bell, though. What's going on here?
What is going on?
Breaker Morant. There's the bell. DQ. And now, wait a minute. Apollyon. From earlier tonight, they brawled to the back. Oh, my goodness.
Big man squaring off again.
A huge man, and the crowd responds. Apollyon staring down Breaker Morant. He's got almost a
big
grin
smile
on his face.
Yeah.
He wants... Oh, my God!
Wow.
Apollyon just decimated Chris Wilde in the corner. Could this mean what I think it means? It does! Apollyon's with the Blackhearts.
You've got to be kidding me.
And now Breaker Morant, the former TWA champion. And now here comes Chambers and Kikoa, the dream team, out to even the numbers.
And now we got a full-on brawl going on here. Here's Rex Lawless now.
Rex Lawless, Apollyon's partner at the K-Cup. He comes in. We know what side he's on.
Wait, does that mean we have a new full team in Blackheart, the Order of the Black?
Must be. Huge tandem move, my God! And the crowd on their feet, some of them at least.
They keep at this. There's going to be nobody left.
To add two monsters like Lawless and Apollyon to the mix in the Blackhearts. Oh my goodness! Good night now. Lawless and Apollyon are taking apart the Dream
Apollion's
Team.
going up.
We asked who could take them out. Answered, it's Apollyon and Lawless. Decimating the Dream Team. Breaker Morant, Josh Daniels sitting up. He's obviously got to be disappointed with the outcome of his title match.
He's going up there one more time.
Talk about a message being sent. 330 from the top.
Unbelievable. They keep this up, there's going to be nothing left. Breaker's telling him to do it again.
Uno más tiempo, por favor.
Get down! Get down or you're suspended! Get him down! Get down! No! No! Get him out! Get down! Bring that belt! Bring!
Somehow brings back people who are no longer in the ECWA. The last time we saw this, he brought back the Midnight Sensations out of nowhere. And he brought them in to Blackheart. Now all of a sudden, the Monster Atu, a man who is not on the ECWA roster, he does not work here. Now all of a sudden, he's another member of Blackheart.
A stunning ending to a night full of surprises. We thought we'd seen it all when we saw Tony Mamaluke leave its boots in the ring. We thought we saw something out of the blue with a title change, a new Mid-Atlantic champion, but nothing we saw could have prepared us for this. You thought the war between the Blackhearts and ECWA was over. Oh no, it's just begun. And a huge salvo fired tonight by Joel Blackheart. He wasn't here last month, now we know why. We know where he was, we knew what he was up to. And tonight he has orchestrated, in my opinion, the single greatest coup we have ever seen in pro wrestling history. This is just unbelievable. The talent.
Kakoa, Aiden Chambers, one too many times you've been sticking your nose in Blackheart's business. Well, let's get down to this. Come January 5th, Kakoa, Aiden Chambers, either one of you two chumps, I will take out any single day of the week. Just pick your choice. Anytime, anywhere.
Well, there you have it. Irrespective of what may have come of the Blackhearts, their impact or lack thereof in this company, one thing is for certain. Anyone who was in the Newark Boys and Girls Club on December 1st, 2012 remembers being there and the impact that was made by Breaker Morant and all of his cronies in the new Blackheart. When we come back on the other side of the break, he gets his just desserts on the wrong end of a beating perpetrated by Joel Blackheart, and this time his lackeys, Atu and Solo. Stick around, we got more Code Red to come.
This is U.S. Navy and Marine Corps veteran Montel Williams. During my 22 years of military service, I had the honor of working beside many brave servicewomen. They are the fastest growing population of veterans, and they can be a great asset to your company. Women veterans are trained to take initiative, adapt to change, and they're quick to learn. If you're an employer or a woman veteran, call the U.S. Department of Labor at 866-487-2365 or visit careeronestop.org.
I'm Mary, and I used to be a smoker. I want to give you some tips about getting ready in the morning. First, you need then wig, then your head redefined, and now you're ready for the day.
And welcome back into this episode of ECWA Code Red. I'm still John Germain Esquire. I know, shocking. Well, as I mentioned on the front side of the break, turnabout was fair play for Breaker Morant, a man who had once helped perpetrate a beating of the highest order, found himself on the wrong end. But let's set the scene. See, he and the Monster Atu, representing the Blackhearts at the time, had been going back and forth with the tag team titles with D-Line. It all came to a head September 7th, the anniversary show in 2013, when these two teams squared off in a double chain match, one of the most brutal matches we had ever seen in the ECWA. Well, suffice to say, things did not go the way that Joel Blackheart would have liked them to, and clearly he had a plan B in mind if things didn't go right. They didn't go right, so things went awfully wrong for Breaker Morant.
Folks, this is going to get real good real quick.
You know what? I think if I were Breaker Morant, I'd be very happy that Black Ice just singled me out and said I want to be chained to him. You know why? Because if I were Breaker Morant, I would not want to be chained to Body Snatcher.
Well, let's point out that the Body Snatcher is chained to a certifiably insane madman who takes advice from a lamp that's not plugged in and has no light bulb.
An ultramagnetic madman.
Here we go. This is going to be something else.
Almost a tug of war of sorts. They're just kind of pulling their opponents toward each other.
Well, it's interesting. In a chain match, you can control the distance to some extent. And that's what it's about, is you want to keep your opponent that you're attached to in a range where you can strike where they can't get you. Powerbomb! Cover! 1, 2, 3!
Ladies and gentlemen, time of the match, 15 minutes, 2 seconds. Your winners and still ECWA Tag Team Champions, D-Line!
One of the most brutal matches that we have ever seen in the ECWA. And it's capped off by an enormous power bomb.
That power bomb was so enormous that the impact sent, of all people, referee John Finnegan up off his feet and into the air. That's a lot of impact.
D-Line successfully defend the gold tonight. And that, you imagine, puts an ending, for now at least.
And of course, Joel Blackheart once again is unhappy. Looks like for the second time this evening.
Two, granted he was incapacitated at the time of the fall, does not look pleased with Breaker Morant having been defeated.
Breaker's in pain there.
Looks like he wants a hand up from his teammate. And Atu does not look like he wants to facilitate that.
It's his teammate. And, Blackheart sticks together. That's what they do. Through, good and bad. Well, there's really no good with Blackheart, but, once this new Blackheart, this is, as much as, Joel Blackheart runs his mouth and he's unhappy, he's always unhappy about something.
Well, an impressive first defense for the D-Line. And Blackheart 0 for 2 tonight. That's not a good number. Well, still to come tonight, we'll find out if Chris Wilde gets one more crack at Ricky Martinez's Mid-Atlantic title. We will have 4 men go for 1 belt, the most vaunted belt in all of independent wrestling. And, well, right now, Joel Blackheart in the ring with Atu and Breaker Morant. Breaker just wants a hand up, and Atu stalking him, standing over him.
I think Atu just needs to, okay, all right, man, we lost. We weren't able to do it this time. All right, let's go. There you go. Give him a hand. That's it. That's all he's asking for.
Oh, wait a minute. Blackheart slapping Breaker Morant, and now he's imploring Atu to put the boots to Breaker Morant. What is this? Now the chain driven into the head. Oh, wait a minute. Here comes Body Snatcher. Here comes Body Snatcher and Black Ice. Are they going to intervene?
I think they're just watching. They like to see Breaker get a little bit of a beating.
What is this?
Oh.
And now Atu whipping Breaker Morant with the chains. I really still don't understand. Why is Black Ice just
across
standing
the
and
eyes.
watching? Oh, here they come, I think. What is this? Now they finally fend off Atu. There's Central D. Oh, wait a minute! That's was that Napalm Bomb? It is! Oh, who's the masked man with him? He's enormous! A huge, are you kidding? An enormous power slam!
That guy is huge!
He is a beast! Who is that man? Could this be?
Napalm Bomb?
Could this be the next chapter in Joel Blackheart's sinister plan? A reshaping of the Blackheart, perhaps.
But does Joel Blackheart have anything to do with it? I mean,
he's gloating on the outside. He seems content with the action. Who is that man in the camouflage pants? He is a giant. Just a beast. Strangling D-line.
I think he took his mask off, but I still don't know who he is. All I know is he's big, wide.
Well, now you've seen the pinnacle of Breaker Morant's aggression, his ego, his whatever. You've seen the nadir, the crushing beating he received after failing to lock up the tag team titles with the Monster Atu. Well, since September 7th of 2013, Breaker Morant has slowly picked himself back up, sometimes with a Polyon at his side, sometimes on his own. And the man from South Australia who hits a Frankensteiner from the top rope as well as anybody in the business, well, he found himself in position to earn a slot on June 7th to compete for the heavyweight title. When we come back on this week's episode of Code Red, we will show you the match that got him into the four-man match on June 7th. Stick around. Code Red continues after this.
Hi, I'm Ashley, and this is another food for thought from the Delaware Department of Agriculture. There is perhaps no fruit or vegetable in Delaware that has the history and the significance of the peach. Did you know that the peach blossom is our state flower and that the peach pie is our official state dessert? Peaches were brought to our shores in the 1500s by European settlers from Spain and were once so plentiful in Delaware that farmers even used them to feed their pigs. Despite its small size, Delaware was the leading producer of peaches in the United States, shipping nearly 6 million baskets of the delicious fruit to its market in 1875. Disease and other problems forced the collapse of the industry a few years later, but today peaches once again play a big role in our state's agricultural well-being. They are great to have with your morning cereal or with your evening bowl of ice cream. Nearly 20 varieties of the tree-ripened peaches or nectarines are grown today in Delaware, including such delicious-sounding varieties such as Fantasia, Blushing Star, and Loring. They are usually harvested from early July through the end of August. So enjoy a big helping of Delaware peaches today, or show your state pride and bake a sampling of our delicious state dessert, the peach pie. Delaware-grown peaches. More food for thought from the Delaware Department of Agriculture.
Well, hello again, friends. John Germain Esquire, once more on Code Red. I could take a lot of time saying this up. All you need to know is this. Breaker Morant was in a match. If Breaker Morant won the match, Breaker Morant would go on to June 7th to compete for the heavyweight title. And had he not won, we wouldn't be standing here talking about Breaker Morant being in the match on June 7th. So you already know the outcome. And if you needed a spoiler alert for that, I don't know what to tell you. Irrespective of all that, watch how Breaker Morant earned his ticket for a chance at the heavyweight title.
The Dragon Sleeper applied now by Matt Saigon.
Apollyon trying to get the crowd behind Breaker Morant. So I'll ask you this question, obviously the outcome in jeopardy. Of these four men, which one, if they were to win, would you give the best chance to in the title match in June?
Between these four men?
Between these four men, who would have the best chance should they win tonight?
I believe my vote would have to go to Apollyon.
So you're going to take the physical, he's an anomaly is what he is. But even over the championship experience of a Breaker Morant, the drive of a Saigon, perhaps the X factor of a Bolo Young, you're taking a guy who you know is just bigger than everybody.
I mean, I've been in the ring with 3 out of those 4 men, and you know, I apologize to Bolo Young because I don't have that in-ring experience with him. I don't have any information that I could say that maybe he has a chance. I mean, he has a chance. He's in there, but definitely the fear factor has to go to Apollyon.
And we know Ricky Martinez will be in that match. Granted, he weakened Papadon earlier tonight, but for Ricky, that's short of his reign as Mid-Atlantic champion, perhaps his most signature win to date in the ECWA.
I would definitely agree. I mean, it's not like he beat Keiko with a Flying Hawaiian in the previous month.
Well, you know, that's funny. I'm going to ask you the question on everyone's mind, because he was going to the top rope in the match in January when Papadon's music hit. Now, you're a supremely talented, highly confident individual. How close did you feel that you were to losing your title to Ricky Martinez on January 25th?
No comment.
Well, folks have asked, he's answered, we move on. Right now it is.
I will comment. How close did I feel? I don't know, because I just turned it over. That's the worst feeling.
There you go. Saigon charging in!
Power slam. That could be it for Saigon. 2. Nope.
2.5, says Mike Keener.
But going back to what I was saying before, that Breaker needed to pull something out. He finally did. Now he's got to take that opportunity. He's got to get over to Apollyon. But is he too beaten? Is he? Well, he's taken a lot of pain. But I mean, going back to what we were saying before, he can take it.
Well, and the wrinkle in all this is, do you tag to Apollyon and he has a chance to claim a spot in the title match, or do you stay in there and try and get it for yourself?
The answer is you take the wrinkle.
Big people just bounce off him. It's like a cartoon.
I don't even think he actually clotheslined him. I think Matt just ran into him.
Are you kidding me?
Beautiful high kick by Apollyon. I can't believe he can get that high.
And there's the best spinning heel kick in the business.
At least by a big man. At least by somebody that's still over 300
I don't grade
pounds.
on a curve. When you're a 400-pounder and you do that, are you kidding?
Looks like he's going for a double choke slam here.
Double boots to the midsection, though, prevents the big choke slams in
those ropes are padded. Oh,
he just ran right through them. Are you kidding me?
Sitting choke
Are
slam.
you kidding?
That is my pick. 1, 2. Oh my God!
Saigon at 2 3/4.
I was almost right.
There's going to be a replay box on the screen that's going to show Apollyon double choke slam, sit out. He just does stuff that nobody else can do. You know, there's nothing else to say.
As hard as it is to watch people and to know what's on the line, I know that my ECWA title is on the line between these competitors. It's hard to watch, but as much as a fan of professional wrestling as I am, I can't but watch in awe of the things that Apollyon can do in the ring.
All right, now I believe Morant's the legal man. Apollyon will go to the outside.
It almost seems like Bolo. It seems like he's contemplating leaving. I mean, he's just walking around the ring. I don't know if he's going back to his corner or if he's.
You
now he's
figure
finally going
his
back.
loyalty to Saigon may not be absolute. And you also, it seems like he was shaken up earlier in the contest. Favoring the
Saigon with the foot on the ropes!
And Keener saw it. He's admonishing Matt Saigon. And Saigon right up in the face
of
Mike Keener. This would be a good time
to tag in Apollyon. He's still fresh.
Well, but again, with that title shot on the line, are you going to tag him in?
That's true. Just put his hands on Keener.
And that puts him right into Breaker Morant. Could it be?
What's he going for?
Yes, sir! If he gets a cover, this could be it. 2, 3.
I was incorrect. Breaker Morant with the victory.
seconds, your winning team, the team of Breaker Moran and Apollyon.
Well,
Since Breaker Moran scored the pinfall, he will be the second member in the four-way dance in June for the ECWA Heavyweight Championship.
well, give an enormous assist to Apollyon, who I don't know if he even recalled or remembered that was on the line, but he saved a pinfall. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, I know you already knew the outcome, but you've seen how it happened now. Breaker Morant, June 7th, he's in the match. Yeah, you already, like I said, you knew. We've been talking about it for about a half an hour. If you hadn't picked up on that by now, I don't know what else to tell you. Except this. On June 7th, there are only 2 men in the match who have formerly held heavyweight titles. Chris Wilde, who we'll talk about in a couple weeks, and Breaker Morant. So they understand 2 things. 1, how hard it is to win a title, and 2, how hard it is to defend a title. Well, obviously, June 7th, it's the win side of the equation. But normally, you face 1 guy to win a title. In this match, you got to go through 2 other men in addition to the normal opponent. 3 in total. Can Breaker Morant do it? I think he's got a pretty good chance for one reason only. He's persistent. He's driven. He knows, in the back of his mind, this might be the last best chance he has to be a heavyweight champion as close to the top rungs of this business as he can get. So with that as the preface, I have to believe that he's itching to get in that ring June 7th and show and prove that he can be the man in ECWA and one of the preeminent wrestlers in all of wrestling one more time. But we'll find out June 7th together whether or not he will climb that mountain. Speaking of June 7th, you need tickets and more information. Yoink. Lower third says ECWAProWrestling.com. That's where you go to get tickets and information. For information on the company that puts on this fine program, POD Productions, PridesProductions.com. And Facebook, there's that box. You put in our names and you will find us. It is that simple. So, until next week, when, hey, spoiler alert, we're going to talk about Ricky Martinez, I will stand right here and wait for you to come back to me, and we'll do this all over again. For everybody at the ECWA and POD, I am John Germain Esquire, and I am out of imaginary time. I'll see you next week on Code Red.